afternoon, and welcome to the Monterey Bay Aquarium here, live, hopefully just about everywhere that we can be live here on Facebook, on Periscope, on YouTube, and also on our Twitch, which we just started. We are live right now, everybody, from the tower room here at the aquarium, and we are looking at a wild sea otter, mom and pup here off of the back deck of the aquarium. It is a whole lot of fun to be able to bring to you this wildlife that's happening here right now off the back deck of the aquarium. So for those of you just joining us, my name's Patrick. I work at the aquarium here in social media. On the camera, we have Emily, and we'll be hearing from Emily here in just a moment, but she's the one making sure that we are seeing this wild sea otter mom and pup here that are just off the back deck of the aquarium. And this is something that we see all throughout the year, and we're actually very fortunate to see sea otters just like this out here. There are only about 3,000 sea otters here in California, and here, let me just transition us back over here. Hey, everybody. My name is Patrick, and we're doing some camera moves over here with Emily over here. So thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. We're going to start going to the folks out there. I'm just going to pull up here on our phone and see what you folks are up to there on the comments. So we are very fortunate to be here at the Monterey Bay Aquarium, just in this beautiful little tower room. We've got a flower hat jelly here right behind me. We've got a tube anemone there on the other side. And yeah, it is. Emily's readjusting the camera. We're good to go. All right, let's transition back over. We can have us over here. And here, maybe I'll just get rid of us from the screen. There we go. So now we're looking at the red buoy there off of the deck. So that red buoy there marks the mile to the harbor here. And thanks again, everyone, for tuning in right now. You can see that blustery bay that is happening right now. And we've got Emily joining me over here on the table. Hey, Emily.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. So we're trying a bunch of different tech right now. This is our first time trying to stream to all of the different platforms all at the same time. So pardon us while we try to figure out exactly how this is meant to work. But we are here looking for your comments right now. Let's see. All right. Let's see what the folks are telling us over here on Periscope. We've got Facebook up over here. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in and for joining. Okay, so what I can do here is I can now transition us back to prove to you that Emily is here next to me. So there we go. We are live. So this is the social media team here for the aquarium.
Hello.
Yeah, so if you enjoy anything that you see there on the internet, it's going to be us there behind those lenses. Here, we don't like being on the camera too much. We'll transition us back over here. Any underwater tech yet? I see that question there on Periscope. Yes, we've got some underwater tech that we're going to be testing out. We're going to be working with California State Parks and a few other folks out there to try to bring to you some of those amazing underwater views. Obviously, we couldn't do it right now. We've got not only a plankton bloom here in the Monterey Bay that's made visibility be about 10 feet, give or take. So not super great, not bad. Definitely for a cold water diver, not a bad time to be out there. But right now it's obviously very swelly, very windy, so would not be a good time to go out there. And we're going to wait for those wintertime conditions. We tend to get really, really good visibility there. Emily, we've got a question here on Periscope. Any cool facts for the day? Do you have any cool facts there for the folks that are tuning in there?
That's a great question. I know that we shared it a little bit on a stream earlier this week, but one of my favorite facts right now, someone pointed out that the population of Monterey is almost equal to the number of animals that we have in the aquarium. So, a sardine for everybody to enjoy when you come to visit.
That's excellent. Yeah, had not realized that.
Trying to think of another cool fun fact of the day.
Well, one cool fact that we can maybe share is that we're currently looking out over. Oh, here we go. Now we've got the chat working with everybody tuning in. Very cool. Yeah. So another cool fact for you folks out there, if you follow us on Twitter, you should head over there. We retweeted the amazing folks at Nautilus Live, they found a whale fall off of the Davidson Seamount, which is within the Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary. Basically, right now, the view on the camera, we're looking out towards the red buoy, which is looking kind of basically straight at Moss Landing. Moss Landing is where the canyon starts. If you follow the canyon 60 miles out to sea, and then you keep on going, and I believe you swing straight south, you should get to the Davidson Seamount, basically an underwater volcano that never quite made it to the surface, so it's not an island. And they found out there not only hordes of octopus, Emily, but they also found a whale fall. We got to watch some of that yesterday in here, just because.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Here, let me just transition us back. Hey, there we are.
Hello.
Wonderful. Okay, so we're gonna maintain here on the stream, but we're gonna try to read your comments here as they come in. Yeah,
I see some of you saw the whale fall as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was really something special to see because whale falls are not uncommon, but they are uncommon for us to come across, obviously, because the deep sea and the deep sea floor is so vast and massive. And it's also rare for us to come across one that was in that stage of decomposition where there's still some biology on it, like the baleen, the octopus, and everything.
The blubber. You had all those cool, charismatic animals like the octopus and the chimeras and everything just kind of chowing down.
Yeah, I mean, that was something else to see. So definitely go back to our Twitter feed if you didn't see it, or head over to nautiluslive.org. And Barry, you'll be able to see the whale fall there. Fall, F-A-L-L. Sorry, yeah, Lisa. Whale fall. So basically, a whale that dies sinks and brings to it the seafloor, but the fall of the whale is a really important moment for that deep sea floor because so many animals will then take advantage of tons of food basically falling from the sky.
Absolutely. You can think of the deep sea living in this constant state of feast and famine. They never know, when there's going to be the next whale fall around. So you get these huge concentrations of animals that show up and just eat as much as they possibly can because you never know what's going to come next.
Oh, the voice has a face. Hey, Jennifer. Yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Yeah, so if you've heard the voice there on social media, it's been myself and Emily here for a little bit. Does the earthquake fault line affect the aquarium and the surrounding areas? So
That's a great question, yeah.
And I'm going to transition us back to the bay here. I'm going to zoom in on that red buoy. There we go.
There we go.
Oh, this is a high.
That's a good look.
Oh, look at that production value right there. Okay, cool. Yeah, so the earthquake happened. I happened to be walking around outside, so I didn't feel the earthquake at all. But it certainly was felt in the Monterey Bay, not only by you, Emily.
Yeah. Those of us who were inside actually felt it more than those people who were outside. So all of us were very curious as to what was happening. We felt the big one while we were here at work, but there's been a couple of smaller ones out by Pinnacles, which is about 50 miles or so away from the aquarium. That's kind of where the epicenter of these earthquakes have been taking place over the last couple of days, just over there. And that lies right along the San Andreas Fault.
Yeah. Yeah, and what's super interesting about the Pinnacles National Park is that those rock formations that are very popular with rock climbers and photographers, hikers, and everything, there's another half of those rock formations that's down by LA because half of the park basically slid north. And you folks may be familiar with the fact that if you wait long enough, San Francisco and LA will basically be right next to each other.
Next door neighbors.
Yeah, as it slides. So, no, we're moving away.
Yeah, we're moving away.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to be down there.
And so actually the Monterey Bay has moved with the tectonic plates. It was formed, the idea is that the Monterey Bay submarine canyon formed as a canyon with the river that was the Central Valley drainage of the great glaciers that were hanging out on the Sierras, that's where the canyon was carved. And then eventually slid north, and then the sea level rose with all of the ice melting. So there is a direct connection to earthquakes, the Monterey Bay, and something that we could maybe mention is the turbidity events that occur in the submarine canyon, basically underwater rivers. When it shakes, you can have large mudslides that cause a river to basically keep flowing through that canyon.
That river of sediment actually helps to carve out the bay. So as these earthquakes happen, the canyon is actually shifting and changing along with it. It was kind of neat. We were just speaking with one of our colleagues over at the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute. They have this hydrophone that's underwater, and they could actually hear the earthquake when it happened underwater, which is just so cool to have that hydrophone down there that you can listen to. It's live, so that you can listen to the whale songs that are happening in the bay, those just geological events like the earthquake, just all kinds of things that we can pick up with the hydrophone.
Yeah, and so we have us back on the. So again, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Emily. Hi.
And Mbari tweeted, and there was a few other folks out there that noticed that there were a whole bunch of humpback whales that were just jumping out of the water right like the minute after the earthquake happened. Now, I had a few friends that were scuba diving down in Big Sur one time when an earthquake happened, and they said that it sounded like something exploded underwater, just that shockwave going by. So you can definitely hear earthquakes underwater, and especially humpback whales, and just whales generally, but humpback whales specifically, that are highly, highly vocal singing animals that really hear very well. They use their sense of hearing for so many different things. That they at least heard it, if not felt the earthquake, and then they all started jumping. Now, there's obviously no scientific explanation, but seems pretty cool that you've got all these humpback whales are suddenly jumping out of the water.
Reacting to that sound under there. We see a couple of comments coming through about what that pink thing is in the camera view right now. That is our mile marker buoy that is out there. So it's a quarter a mile away out from the back deck of the aquarium, but it is 1 mile away from the Monterey harbor. So that's for boats and ships coming in. When they see that buoy, they know that they are about a mile away from our harbor.
Yeah, and there's usually a couple of sea lions that are hanging out there. It's also a spot that tech divers will use. There's a reef that's just off of that goes down about 200 feet. So that mile marker buoy is in about 100 and something feet of water. Our seawater intake pipes come in from just in front of that. Actually, Emily.
I can transition over to get a good view of everything there. Hold on.
Camera person Emily over here is going to go and adjust that camera there. Wonderful. Let's see who we got. We got Carmel here tuning in. Thanks for being there. Hey, Michelle, thanks for tuning in. Oh, love Monterey, California area. Oh, this is great. Yeah, this is awesome, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. Yeah, we've been doing live streams for many years now, but we've always kind of done one at a time. So now it's really exciting to be able to stream to all these different places at the same time and to have you folks tune in. It's a great thing to be able to see all of you folks out there tuning in and enjoying the Monterey Bay. It is very blustery. Everything changed there. Oh, cool. It was adjusted. There was probably a weird transition there while you were moving the camera around, and I forgot to
That's okay. I tried to be as polite as possible when I moved the camera. Hopefully it wasn't too shaky.
We're just a bunch of ocean nerds that are handed the phones here at the aquarium, and we've had to become a little production studio, so we're figuring it out there, everybody.
A little 2-person production studio over here.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Here, I'll transition us to being back in frame. Hello, everyone. Again, welcome to a blustery day here on the Monterey Bay. My name's Patrick.
My name's Emily. We're the social media team here at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. Saw a question come through earlier about what the weather just in general is like here. It's very blustery, but it's actually not too chilly right now. It's getting to, be a little bit more fall-esque here in Monterey with those crisp nights, but right now it's still about 65 degrees outside, so not too bad at all. We just got this nice blustery afternoon, kind of churning things up out there.
And to our good friend over on Periscope at Flames there, those 2 yellow buoys there, actually those just got retrofitted. They're like neon yellow right now.
Hard to miss.
Yeah. So those little yellow buoys here, I'll just zoom in on those right now. Those yellow buoys there, those mark the intake pipes to the Monterey Bay Aquarium. So we pump in about 2,000 gallons of water per minute here into the Monterey Bay, into the aquarium from the Monterey Bay, 60 feet deep. And those are there to let boaters know, hey, don't drop your anchor exactly right here. We kind of need that area. Yeah.
Also lets us know where the ends of those pipes are. We go down there and do maintenance on them pretty regularly, but those pipes, again, 2,000 gallons of water per minute. 1,500 gallons of water per minute of those 2,000 gallons are going straight into our kelp forest inside. So when you come inside and you look at the kelp forest, if you're here at the beginning of the day and you're here at the end of the day, the water that is inside has pretty much completely turned over 2 or 3 times in just your short visit here.
Yeah, and that water coming in is coming along a pipeline that used to pump in sardines here into the aquarium. So we have the original pump house actually right below us. And here, I'll transition us back here onto the screen. So the building that we're in right now is this awesome overlook. And directly outside here is that view that we have on the camera. And that pump house used to pump in sardines into what was the Hovden cannery of Newt Hovden. The gentleman from Norway that came in built this cannery in 1916, and he kind of invented this technique of pumping in the fish directly into the cannery instead of going, because we're a mile from the harbor, instead of going a mile to the harbor, offloading all of your fish, coming back over, and then putting them into cans. Instead, just pump them directly to your cannery. And so we're still using that same pipeline for our water coming in here to the building.
Yeah, just a little bit more updated than
yeah,
what it was back
exactly.
in
And it really
1916.
shows, and what's really interesting is that it shows this 180-degree difference that we've had, or complete sea change, if you will, of our relationship with the Monterey Bay. Instead of mining the Monterey Bay for its resources to take them out and put them in the cans, now the Monterey Bay is not only the source of sustainable fisheries, but people now pay to come and see sardines living in the school here at the aquarium. So this building used to take the fish out, put them in cans, and then off you went. And now we're all about trying to get people to connect with those sardines so that they're encouraged to vote and support legislation that can help there be more and more sardines on into the future. So it's pretty cool that that's now what our building does with that same pipeline. You can see right there from those yellow buoys. Let's see, I will fade us back out so you can enjoy just the view of the Monterey Bay. Beautiful. Do we still pump in sardines? No, we do not pump in those sardines anymore. They come to us from Oxnard, Southern California.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. We've got a bunch of questions here. Let's see, from Facebook and from Periscope. So yeah, the blusteriness here, we go through many different seasons here on the Monterey Bay. We just this morning, it was flat calm, and we have this little bit of a storm and swell that's picking up. That's going to be, we got some folks there on Twitch that are hanging out. Hey, Cassie. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for following us, Cassie.
Awesome. Now, Emily, I'm looking out over the bay, trying to see if there's any wildlife to hone in on. When it gets blustery,
I see an otter out there, so I'm gonna move the camera.
Okay, hold on.
You're gonna have to stare at Patrick's face.
All right,
I'm gonna transit here.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna transition us back. Okay, go for it, Emily. On the camera. All right. It's just me and you, everybody, while Emily goes and finds us a sea otter. Thumbs up in the chat, everybody. If we can get that otter on the screen, that is Emily. We got Christine Gallagher excited there. Otters coming right up. Oh, Carrie, your annual vacation. Thank you so much for coming to visit us here at the aquarium. Really appreciate it. Hey, what's up, Karen? We got Sea Nerd Sarah is there. Hello. From Breakwater. Oh, fantastic. Sarah is one of our fantastic local dive masters here. If you folks are out there looking to go dive in the Monterey Bay, which I do frequently myself, can definitely recommend Sarah and all of the other amazing dive shops that we have here in the Bay. The Monterey Bay Aquarium came from the idea to show the world what's underneath the waves here. So if you enjoy visiting the aquarium, that's what it looks like out in the wild. And actually, the wild is even more colorful than what we have inside the aquarium, if you can believe it. So if you folks are out there interested in scuba diving, or you are already, we've got some sea lions porpoising I can see out there. Let's see. Yeah, Emily she's doing magic right now. Out there on the camera, trying to see. Of course, the otter's on the move once we promised it to you folks there on the chat. That's what's going to happen, but that's what's going to keep happening here on this live stream from the Monterey Bay. We are showing you just what it is to be live out there. Emily is looking for another subject here. I don't want to give anyone vertigo, so I'm not going to transition back to the camera quite yet. But go.
Yeah, we got an otter.
We got an otter. We are transitioning. We've got the otter there on the screen. Ooh, our picture in picture is in the way. I'm going to get rid of that. Mom and pup. Oh, let's go. Yes, look at that, everybody. We got the mom and pup sea otter action here directly off the back deck of the aquarium. Emily is on the camera work. Thank you, Emily. It's always blustery and rainy when we visit Carrie A. Solis. Oh, yeah, we'll try to keep that tradition going, especially right now if you were to come and visit. It's a nice time to wear one of those aquarium jackets as I'm wearing right now. Let's see. Tulare is windy as well. Tulare, of course, mentioned in John Steinbeck's Grapes of Wrath. We know that gentleman very well here along Cannery Row. Let's see. Nice to put a face to the voice. Aw, thanks for tuning in. Why Otter? But I won't. But we will. There you go, Gene. We've got the otter there. Straight chillin', exactly, Selly Welly. You can't chill harder than any of the animals that we have here in the Monterey Bay in that 50-degree temperate water there. Got a mom and baby otter there. We've got our first bit of emotes there from Twitch showing up on the stream. Thanks so much. Oh, it's so cool. Thanks so much, Emily, for following that otter. So sea otters give birth throughout the year. There's maybe a little bit of a more of a birthing time in the springtime, but sea otter female will have about a pup a year once she's able to have a pup, which is around 3 to 5 years old or so. And here along Cannery Row, we have many a female that hangs out here. A couple of territorial males that will be in the general vicinity. And it looks like, Emily, maybe you can confirm, did mom dive? Mom went diving. So that's, yeah, so that's the, so we've got pup there up on the screen. Now, sea otter pup will stay with mom 6 to 9 months or so, is my understanding there. And then mom is ready to have another pup after that. There's mom. Mom just popped back up. So what you're looking at is an Olympic athlete doing one of the hardest jobs in the animal kingdom, which is taking care of that floof ball there that's just floating up on the surface. Female sea otters that are taking care of their pups are eating close to a third of their body weight every single day. So imagine the calories that you have to expend to get all of those calories to then feed yourself and then to feed your pup. It's extremely tough to be a sea otter mom out there. And we got to, our hats off to them every single time. A sea otter that doesn't have a pup is usually about a quarter of their weight in food every day. And here at the aquarium, for the 5 resident female otters that we have here at the aquarium that are non-releasable back out to the wild for health or behavioral reasons, those otters were stranded originally on the coast somewhere and could not be returned to the wild. But those female otters that we have here at the aquarium that take care of the pups that are released out to the wild, it costs, we just did the calculation, Emily, that was $19,000 per otter per year to feed them sustainable seafood here. So imagine how much seafood all of the females out there with their pups are collecting from the kelp forest. And that's why they're such a critically important animal. They're not only adorable and cute and fluffy, and we love them for that reason, just one of the most adorable animals you can take a photo of, but they're also incredibly important for that kelp forest. They're what's known as a keystone species. They're essentially gardeners of the kelp forest and the eelgrass. What sea otters will do in a kelp forest system is they'll eat a lot of sea urchins and they'll help the kelp kind of maintain itself there. They'll also eat abalone and a bunch of other animals that contribute to grazing on that kelp. So they kind of regulate it there. And in Elkhorn Slough, in the estuary environments, what we found with our research that just came out after 30 years of work, 35 years of work, excuse me, is that these otters out there in the eelgrass beds of Elkhorn Slough, they're eating crabs that are eating slugs that would normally be cleaning the eelgrass. And so if there are a lot of otters out there, then the eelgrass is cleaner because the crabs aren't eating the slugs, and it helps contribute to this amazing habitat of eelgrass that then supports things like halibut and sardines and other fisheries that we enjoy out there. And Emily is doing a great job following this wild otter, mom and pup here off the back deck. Oh, no. Hold on. We just went black. That's okay. We're going to transition back to me. Hey, everybody. That's what happens when we turn the camera off or disconnect a cable, but that's cool. We are professionals. We absorbed that with no issues, and we're going to go right back out to the wild just like that. Fantastic. All right, let's go back to the chat. Let's see, is this an ocean or an aquarium? That's an excellent question, Tom. It is both. We are at the Monterey Bay Aquarium looking out over the beautiful Monterey Bay. The Monterey Bay that we have out here is what we like to say our largest exhibit. It's also one that requires the least amount of maintenance from our staff, but probably the most amount of maintenance from society and all of us as a whole out there trying to inspire conservation of the ocean. The Wild Monterey Bay has been our backdrop since we opened 35 years ago, and actually the 20th here, October 20th, is going to be our 35th anniversary. We opened in 1984 with a mission to inspire conservation of the ocean, and since we opened, a lot of cool things have happened. We're currently filming a sea otter that is hanging out in the Edward F. Ricketts State Marine Conservation Area, or SMCA, which is a marine protected area, aka an MPA. And the system of marine protected areas that we have here in California is one of the most robust in the world, and certainly a lot of work on MPAs was pioneered here along the California coast. And those MPAs went in effect in 2010, many of them. And the Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary, which is everything that we see here in front of us, the National Marine Sanctuary went into effect in 1992, so 8 years after the aquarium opened. So essentially, the Monterey Bay Aquarium is now the visitor center to this underwater national park that we have out here in the Monterey Bay. The real visitor center to the Marine Sanctuary, I should say, not just a metaphor, but the real one is over in Santa Cruz. You folks should definitely go take a look at that, because our colleagues over at MBARI, the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute, which you may know more from their deep sea work, they have a hydrophone exhibit that's over at that Sanctuary Exploration Center in Santa Cruz over by the wharf and the boardwalk. So definitely go take a look at that if you happen to be in the area. That is free admission over there as well. But the Monterey Bay Aquarium, where we are, this was basically an ode, a symbol of what we have out here that's just so amazing in our kelp forest area. And it's now a representation of what is protected out there for generations and generations to come out here in our beautiful, beautiful, bountiful Monterey Bay backyard here. Wonderful. Let's see. Who else do we have on the chat? Oh, no mom and pup. Okay, hold on. Let me... Do we need to transition back to us folks here inside, or what do we think?
Well, for a second, otherwise I can move.
Here, I'll just go picture in picture here. So you can see the slow pan over the blustery. You can really see, though, how the kelp changes the sheen there on the water. You can see where the kelp forest is. You can see it's a little bit darker there. Kelp does a lot of things. It helps dampen wave action, helps kind of calm down the surface chop, and it's definitely something that the sea otters like out here. They'll wrap themselves up inside that kelp and use that as an anchor there. Looks like we've got one of the window panes. You can see we're really inside a room there. Let's see. Here, I'll just transition to just the humans here. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. My name's Patrick. I work at the aquarium here in the social media department. And on the camera work today, we've got my coworker, Emily. And we basically are testing out something here where we're able to stream not only to Periscope and Facebook, but also to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And hopefully we can share more of these experiences of the Monterey Bay with all of you folks out there. Okay, we are set up now to have just a beautiful look at the bay and how blustery it is. Look at those white caps going by. Fantastic. Let's see, we're going to read some of your comments here. Any special events planned to celebrate the anniversary? Yeah, we'll have some posts out there for all of you. for the anniversary. 35 years, a very exciting time, especially because now it means that there's a generation of folks out there, myself included, who are younger than 35, who grew up with the aquarium as a background. And Emily is just joining us back here. Yeah, Emily, there you are right there. Awesome. So there's been a generation of folks that's been inspired by the mission of the aquarium now. The aquarium opened with the founders wanting to show the beauty of the bay and to hopefully inspire the next generation. Now that next generation is here, and we're continuing on that work. And now the next generation is the one that is in our teen programs and the folks that are following us on social media. So it's really pretty incredible to see what this institution has been able to do in that 35 years to really make a lot of big changes in the world. Some of the big changes like Seafood Watch would be a great example.
So not only is it our 35th anniversary, it's also Seafood Watch's 20th anniversary coming up on Sunday.
Yeah.
So we're going to be celebrating 20 years of being able to support and be an active voice for sustainable fisheries.
And that's one of the, sustainable seafood used to be one of the things where it didn't really make much sense. People, sustainable seafood, I don't really understand. And now sustainable seafood is kind of a standard everywhere. Not only do you want delicious seafood, and sustainable seafood is going to be delicious, but you also want there to be seafood for your seafood restaurant in the future. That's an important thing for your business. And what's really interesting with the work that Seafood Watch does is that seafood is one of the world's most international commodities. And so if you have well-regulated, well-managed seafood, you end up doing a lot of things like helping with issues of like slavery and carbon footprints and things that are deeply tied to how seafood works. So sustainable seafood is not just the delicious seafood on your plate. It's also a way for humanity to kind of live in communion with its environment.
Yeah, when you have 70% of the people on this planet that are in some way connected to that seafood chain, whether you're relying on seafood for your major source of protein, if you are a fisherman, person, woman yourself, we want to make sure that we're able to support and sustain every aspect of that fishery.
Yeah. Oh, well, and thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We cannot do what we do without you. You see something else out there?
I see another otter out there. So
all right,
Emily.
Give it a go. Do you want you Otter go film that?
Yeah, water bear with me there.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yes. You weaseled another Otter pun in there. Oh, scoundrel. Okay, so Emily is going to adjust our camera super quick, so I'm just going to transition over to it just being me again. But thanks everyone for tuning in. We cannot do what we do without all of you folks out there and your support of the aquarium over the years. I was just at a volunteer dinner celebrating folks that have been volunteering at the aquarium 35 years here. And in that time, we have welcomed over 64 million folks to the building. 64 million people have come to the aquarium. I've got the thumbs up from Emily, which means that we are looking at a sea otter. There it is right there. Ooh, let's zoom in on that. They just dove, of course. That's how that works, everybody. Trying to go live. My first week of work here at the aquarium was during Big Blue Live. Give us a comment in the chat if you were ever tuning into any of those live segments that the BBC and PBS did while they were out here. Okay, we're just looking at the canopy of kelp right there. That's kind of an interesting thing to... Oh, it's pretty interesting to look at because that canopy there of the giant kelp can be over 200 feet long, but it doesn't grow from 200 feet deep. It maxes out in the Monterey Bay area at about 90 feet. Oh, there's mom and pup right there. Nicely done, Emily. Pup on, all aboard mom boat. We've got the pup on the tum. Oh, look at it go. That's just adorable. Let me see if I can... Well, I'm going to enhance, but I'm going to see if I can maintain. Yeah, I can maintain right there. 4K zoom. Blow. Nice. Yeah, if we just keep it on the right side of the frame there. Yeah, nicely done. Very, very cool. Ooh, the aquarium should open a restaurant. We have a restaurant here at the aquarium. Jacoby? Yeah, we have a restaurant here with all sustainable seafood there as well. And we have a farm over beyond the hills of Hollister where we source nearly all of our produce there. So when you're coming to eat at the aquarium, you're eating local and delicious as well. Definitely big shout out to Chef Matt and his delicious menu from the Hollister Hills and the Bountiful Bay here. Be very educational to see your albatross in the future for folks who are not able to get. Yeah, we can certainly see if Makana is interested in doing some stuff with us. That's wonderful. Good evening, Cindy. Thanks for being there. Hey, Haley. Thanks for tuning in. PBS and BBC Rock. We agree, Jacob. Thanks so much for watching. Perchington. Wonderful. Our son is considering marine biology. Wish we lived closer so he could volunteer. You know, that's an excellent thing. You don't have to necessarily volunteer here before you can get a job here. There's lots of different things that you can do to get necessary experience. If you're not next to the ocean, but you want to work with the animals, volunteer for the SPCA, walk dogs, work with horses, any kind of rescue, rehabilitation thing you might have in your area. Working with animals is a great way of getting that extra experience out there if you felt like working for the aquarium in the future. I myself was someone who spent a lot of time on a computer in high school, and hence the work in social media after that fact. Always wanted to work here at the aquarium since I was 5 years old. I saw the sea otters here and I said, hey, that seems like what I want to do. But it takes many different types of folks out here to run the place. So not only do we have marine biology folks here, but we have behavioral psychology folks that work with training of the animals. We have folks out here that are chemists in our water lab. We've got electricians, engineers, fishermen. We've got so many different folks out there from so many different walks of life that make the aquarium happen. And definitely to all you folks out there tuning in, thank you so much for your support of the aquarium over all of those years. And if you are one of those volunteers, former staff members, certainly appreciate you folks setting up the aquarium. That is kind of what drives our passion to this day.
Yeah, absolutely. And no matter where you live in the world, you are connected to the ocean in some way or another. Myself, I'm from Arizona and ended up here studying the ocean and getting a chance to talk about it and share its awesomeness with the world as well. So, you know, even a place that's landlocked, kind of the complete opposite ecosystem as here in Monterey.
Yeah,
you can find your place with the ocean.
Yeah, and it's all connected. Everything that we learn about here, about the Monterey Bay Aquarium, the Monterey Bay, the ocean, it's the heart of our planet's life support system. It's what makes everything possible here on Earth to have this ocean out here. So, you know, the weather systems, the rain that you have in Arizona. I grew up in France and in Sweden. It's connected by that global ocean that you fly over on your way. So definitely, it's always great to be able to share this beautiful bay with all of you folks out there. And in fact, with that in mind, I'm just gonna take us off real quick. Look at that beautiful blustery Monterey Bay.
A gorgeous sight.
Fantastic. Well, hey everyone, we've been streaming for a little while here. We want to make sure that you folks out there have an opportunity to go do everything else that you need to do instead of just spending a fantastic afternoon with us. This was a lot of testing for us just now, and it worked great. Thanks for all of you folks for tuning in. I love the view from the dunes near Marina, absolutely. So, we want to thank you so much for tuning in here on this broadcast. Let me put us back on here real quick so we can thank you in person. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here live from the Monterey Bay. We're going to try to bring you more of these types of live streams here in the future. So if you liked it, let us know. And great camera work, Emily. That was fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you for sticking with us there while we were adjusting things. And hopefully it wasn't too shaky on your end. And we'll work out those hiccups in the future and get more of this content to you all.
Yeah, we're just going to lower the bar to the point where we're sharing the ocean with you as much as we possibly can. So thank you so much for bearing with us, everyone. It is our distinct pleasure to bring to you the Monterey Bay and the amazing wildlife that we have out there in our world's oceans to your social media feeds every single day. So thanks again for being there. I think what we're going to do right now is I'm going to get rid of us picture in picture. And then I'm going to turn off our microphones, and then we'll let the bay run for like a minute, 2 minutes or so, and then we'll end the stream. How's that sound?
That sounds great. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
See you next time.